started alive.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's up to you. Talk to him.
Hello. Are we on both now?
Yeah.
Great. Hi, guys. How's
Hello.
it going?
What's up? What's up? So this might be the last live of the year for us.
It might be.
We can brainstorm and come back in January.
Yeah, we just feel like doing this every week, we're kind of like saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And we'd like to come back with like topics and things to really talk about, and yeah. So we don't want to be boring.
Boring.
Boring. I am sitting down today, which is
It's real
new
weird. I
and
took a picture
exciting.
and a video. I was like, what's happening?
So now I just look extra short. Also, thank you to everyone who made a purchase on Order Week.
The last live will be our first sci-fi movie.
Thank you to everyone who purchased last week. It was Order Week, and it was also our holiday deadline, so thank you guys so much.
Double
all those
whammy.
orders, yeah, were awesome. So we're just getting going on those, getting things.
No, how will I procrastinate on Thursday mornings?
I mean, we can chit-chat if you like separately. That is very doable.
I didn't know Leanne could sit down. I know. I think
I
she got
didn't.
new legs for that. She had like her sit-down legs.
Sit-down legs.
So Leanne is finishing up the Chloe's,
Last of the
mini Chloe's,
Chloe's.
the last batch. So this is what it looks like before
The handle goes
the
on.
handle goes on. And
So,
we kind of like it.
yes.
But
One thing we've been talking about is, now obviously if you ordered a mini Chloe, it's going to come as we originally photographed her and sold her to you as, with the top handle.
it's going to come in camo.
However, in making her, I did pop on a crossbody strap without the top handle, and I really like it a lot. So
Do you do customs? We don't.
No, we
Hello
don't
from
do custom.
Peru. Sorry, I'm missing stuff. Hello from Idaho.
that's okay. I'm
But-
gonna grab a crossbody strap and put it on so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Oh god, I've been sitting for too long. But yeah, we're contemplating, like, does she need a top handle, or
Yeah.
is she better without the top handle?
Or do we need a medium size
Right.
that's slightly different?
That's the other thing we're talking about, like in between the big Chloe. Let me grab the big Chloe too and a
I know,
crossbody
it's just
strap so we can talk about this.
But yeah, it's funny. We were talking the other day, and I feel like we've discussed this bag, I think, in far more detail than like how most designs are.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. It's just I feel like when this bag came out, it had a lot more like things to talk about. So
Yeah. Well, and when we made
all possibilities.
the first bag, which was the big Chloe, wasn't-
Removable top handle, problem solved.
it's not easy to do.
It's not easy to do. We're also not typically fans of like removable options, if that makes
I mean,
sense.
our crossbody straps are typically removable
Yeah, but like that's
for the most part.
That's it. But like some companies will do, they'll give you a ton of options, and that's not one of our goals.
No, we want to just sell you a
Goals.
really great bag that you don't need to like think about too hard.
But I like where your head's at. You gotta
Yes.
think outside the box sometimes.
For sure, and I thought about that as well. I did. And we thought about, like, does the top handle need to be different?
Yeah.
But like honestly, it was seeing it without the top handle at all that made me think, oh, maybe
Which
she just
honestly
really doesn't
surprised
need
me
it.
coming from Leanne
I know.
because I just did. I was like, what do you mean?
What do you
Did this
mean?
start as a hobby for you both?
Kind of, but I would say it very quickly changed to being a business.
Yeah.
Like very quickly.
Yeah, there wasn't a huge like in-between period. I think when we first thought about it as a business, it became one.
Became
Well, we considered it that way, and then
being delicate.
made
with it
decisions
first.
based around that.
Okay.
Okay, then removable top flaps, and one has a handle and one doesn't.
So here it is with,
We're at a weird angle too.
I know, the crossbody strap without the top handle. Also, you guys can see the back pocket. I kind of have it set a little high. I can make that strap longer.
She's also like under 5 feet, so
It
for
does
scale
make
reference.
it too that you could wear it higher if you wanted to.
That's true.
Kind of want to hear what you guys think, though, how you're feeling about
Just
it.
ship 2 bags with each order, one with the top handle, one
Oh,
without.
okay.
Oh, man. Okay. That's not just double the work.
No, I probably
just
made it
do
too long for
interchangeable
myself.
transformer bag. Getting
No, I made it too
getting
long for
hearts.
myself.
You getting hearts?
Hearts for without.
I think so.
I never know
That
where
looks
my
rad for
setting
sure.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe this one. What was the question? Or what was the statement?
That looks rad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these are just things that we think about when we're making stuff.
Yeah.
So.
So here it is. I feel like that's more of a crossbody length for myself. Without the top handle, I still think it's a really beautiful bag and maybe possibly a little bit easier to wear. Now, obviously, she's going to get a top handle because the person ordered it that way, but I'm kind of feeling like that might be a better way to go. And we might change it. So, and then here's the big Chloe, who is a shoulder bag. So then we were talking about maybe what we need to do is make a medium-sized bag. That one gets a top handle, or maybe not. Who knows?
Do you ever have dreams about messing up production? I do all the time.
Of
Someone
course.
says they love it. I
Awesome.
don't. She has stress dreams.
Oh, I thought you said you don't love it. I was like, rude.
I hate it.
Rude. No, you can say you don't love it. That's
No,
fine. But
I was on the fence.
Yeah.
Just because I really liked the like I liked that the triangle shape was a through line.
Yeah.
For these
Can
two.
you grab the
It
one
could
with
potentially
one
be
of the ones with the handle? Maybe the last one I did at the end there.
Oh.
Just so we can show why we put the handle in there.
Bum, bum, bum. I mean, it gives options.
It does give options. Yes. So this is what it looks like with the top handle. And what's nice about it is it's more like a handbag, so you can kind of do this sort of thing. Obviously, it's going to come with a crossbody strap as well, but it
Crossbody always sounds like a wrestling term.
crossbody. Yeah.
What if you make the bag with options, price reflecting the options? So we thought about that too, and I want to make it as simple as possible by making it complicated. So like we just want to offer one thing.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I really feel like when we get the design 100% where we want it to be, that's just what we want to offer. If
Yes,
that makes sense.
I agree with you. But yeah, the reason I did the top handle was to truly try to mimic the feeling of the big one with that handle, kind of like making that clean shape. But we made it so that the top handle is attached to the lid, so that way you can still easily get inside of it. Me inside of it, just like rattling around.
This is
But yeah,
how you should use your
that's
mini
exactly how you should use your mini Chloe. So yeah, we're just things we're thinking about, but I feel like we might do a poll or something,
Yeah.
kind of see what you guys
See what people
see
think.
what everyone's feeling and thinking about top handle, no top handle.
To me, it becomes a question of, is it special enough without the handle?
Right. That's
Or is it just another saddle bag?
right.
Which
Which I
which
argue.
Which I don't think necessarily is a bad thing. I like the way it's constructed. I like the shapes it gives.
Yeah, the construction is definitely different than most saddlebags I've seen.
So
But
you're just getting a glimpse inside to what our brains are doing.
yeah, just asking ourselves 50 million questions a day.
If the big one is a shoulder bag, is the mini a forearm bag? It can be.
A forearm bag?
People do that.
I mean, currently.
I don't know if that's a technical term though.
And then let's see what it looks like as, because the other thing is the crossbody strap is very adjustable, so you can totally wear it as a shoulder bag.
You can look closer.
You want to see closer? Is that
I think so.
okay? Hold on a second. Just want to see what it looks like. If I make it
as small as possible.
As small as possible, yeah. So in this
Let's
case,
take a
I'm
look.
obviously wearing it as a shoulder bag.
Actually, I like that.
I do too. Closer. Who was that? YouTube or Instagram that said that?
Instagram.
Okay.
You got it.
Here she is, closer. In their back pocket.
Before you get too excited, our order week is closed. Our holiday orders are closed.
Yes.
We are
Probably.
likely going to open for December for
Right.
order week, but those orders will begin to be made January 1st. So you'll basically be first in line for the new year.
Yeah.
Um,
Someone said something I can't see.
Easier to shop with when you have a crossbody strap. True.
Yep. A lot of people feel that way. This is the big Chloe up close. This is the back
Wow.
side.
Walking away from the camera, YouTube's getting an
It just
extra
leaves
special
me. Do you see what I'm dealing with?
show of me pouring my coffee.
Yeah. So that's this one. I love this bag. I'm a shoulder bag kind of person, except for the Charlotte I wear all the time, which is kind of like a crossbody. But I love this bag so much. Oh, they're over here. The original is like a sculpture, but crossbody is so practical. Yes, I totally agree. Yeah, and maybe we need to make a medium size crossbody that has a top handle or something like that. I don't know. So we're trying to just figure out what makes sense for each bag. Yeah. I think Chloe sounds like she drives semis. Regular Chloe sounds like she works in a flower shop and does textile art. I think you'll be missing a lot of order. Wait, I think.
If we don't offer it as a crossbody. So it is a
Oh,
crossbody.
no. We're definitely offering, it is currently a crossbody. It's just about the top handle. Let me grab.
If you mean, if
Let
you're
me put-
talking about the mini Chloe
Yeah,
specifically.
Let me take one that's already done and put a crossbody strap on it.
Yeah.
That's more of a like direct comparison.
Yeah, we're talking mostly about the top handle part.
Yes.
Those are both crossbodies.
Yes.
Either way.
So basically, right now, what we have is
The
the
original is like a sculpture, but crossbody is so practical.
yeah. The original Big Chloe is one of our designs that is like on our website to purchase. You can't purchase right now because orders are closed. However, this was the original one. It's meant to be a shoulder bag. This is the mini Chloe as it is right now with the top handle. I'm going to put the crossbody strap on so you guys can see how that looks on
And
in comparison.
it probably is confusing because I tend to take pictures without crossbodies.
Which without the strap.
Without the strap,
You
because
should, though.
I should probably.
I'm-
It's just the form of a crossbody strap is not that exciting to photograph, if I'm being honest. So like you have to mess around with it to make it look good. But I should probably just have at least one photo with the crossbody.
Yeah,
Because
you
all
should.
of our bags come with straps.
Yeah.
And
If
I don't
it's a
want to be
crossbody
confusing.
bag, it's coming with a crossbody strap.
Yeah. If it's a crossbody bag, it comes with a crossbody strap. I'll spend a whole nother year getting all the bags again. Get them before you ship them out.
Sorry, give me a second. It's always hard to do this.
It
my
can be
left hand.
both. Yeah. We started broadcasts, whatever that is,
Oh, yeah.
on Instagram. So, well, we kind of know what it is. I'm a little confused about it, but I think it's basically a way to talk directly to people who are most interested in what we're doing. So
I have that
we
set.
started,
That's right.
we put up a link, I think, last week, and we have about, I think it's like 700 people on our broadcast. So if you don't want to miss like important details, we're going to start putting information through there too. And maybe, I don't know, would it be, I was thinking of doing like additional fun things on there. Like would that be
yeah.
too much? I don't want to burn people out.
No, I think that would be cool,
Yeah.
personally. Like, especially if we're going to, like, release a new color.
Yeah, like
get
maybe
to-
it'll get like special behind the scenes. Someone over there taking a picture of us
Okay.
over here.
So, here, hold that a sec. Let me just adjust this so it's, like, more of a crossbody
You gotta
length.
spin it. So
wipers.
these are going out the door today.
Yes, they are. Okay.
So right now we're discussing if
The top
the top handle is 100% necessary.
So here, give me.
Because while Leanne was making them,
Yes.
top handle is the last thing to go on, and she was looking at them and going,
Right.
"This
So
looks
that's all we're
cool."
talking about. The mini Chloe is a crossbody bag. The end. It will remain a crossbody bag, our mini Chloe.
Additional
So
fun things is never too much.
it's either with a top handle or without a top handle. I originally designed it with the top handle because I wanted to mimic the shape that the big Chloe makes. Again, we made it so that the top handle attaches to the lid so you can open it and easily get inside. It's not obstructed by the top handle.
Which was a feat of engineering all by itself.
It was a bit. But then in working on them, like Nick said, the top handle is the last part to go on the bag. So in seeing them without the top handle, I was like, oh, I kind of might like it better without the top handle. And so in doing that, can you read what people are saying?
Oh.
I really started to feel like maybe she doesn't need it.
Yes, top handle. As an avid fan of the mini Bowery, I use the handle all the time when moving it around.
Okay, and
Even
that
though
was
it's always use it as a crossbody. Okay.
Yeah, that was another reason I put
Sure.
it on there. So, okay. So we got one for the top handle.
I mean, it's not like the crossbody goes away, so I think it probably.
This is true. And again, we talked about like maybe we make a medium version in between
True.
the two that is a crossbody with a top handle. So, and maybe like the top handle, we change the shape of it a little bit or something.
Yeah, make the middle one.
Make it like a
its
little
own-
more discreet.
Slightly its own thing.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Lots of ideas.
lots of thoughts and, yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out though.
So as you can see, designing is never completely done.
No, because I am constantly
It's always changing.
questioning if I can make things better.
Questioning it. Yeah.
Let me take this
That's the
off
fun
and put
part,
it
though.
back.
I feel like it takes a full year to be like solidify a design. And usually the tweaks are like minor.
Yeah, usually it's nothing we need to even
Super
talk
minor.
about because people won't even notice. But
Yes, a medium would be great. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think we initially thought that would make sense.
yeah, we
Um,
did. And I do think
Such
that
a
this.
cool shape. It's such a it's
I
like
was gonna
classic, but
say,
also not at the same time.
I do think that this shape and construction has like more to say.
Keeping it simple makes it look more elegant. So maybe the medium one is without a top handle.
The medium. one.
Either the medium one's without the top handle or the small one.
Yeah, one of
And
them.
then how do we name it? Because we already named one Chloe and
Oh,
one mini
no.
Chloe. It's like a whole different problem.
Oh no, I didn't even think about that. That's funny.
Chloe plus. No, that's not it.
Oh god.
Uh,
I don't know what strap is which. I think this is the no.
There's one more batch of big Chloes. You guys have been patient, so there's one more batch
Yeah.
of big Chloes to do, and then those are done.
Yes.
Excuse me, I got some on my eyeball. So that's exciting. All those pre-orders will be out the door, and we'll get working on all the holiday orders. So
Yes.
keeping it simple makes it look more elegant. Yeah, we're always trying to keep it as
That's
simple
exactly
as we can.
it. That's
so,
why I think honestly, that right there, what you just said to me is what I was thinking when I saw it without the top handle. I was like, oh, maybe it's over designed just a tiny.
Editing's the hardest part.
Yes.
So like, do you take everything away that you possibly can that doesn't take away from the intent of the design?
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, something we're considering.
There's something kind of cool about it without the top handle, because it's just like, I don't know,
But I want.
just makes a slightly different shape.
Yeah. I don't know. Got to figure it out.
Make the top handle detachable. So
It's just not that type
yeah,
of.
it's not. That's easier said than done for sure.
Especially to make again a clean design.
Yeah.
to have a clean design where a strap is detachable, you're probably adding more hardware, which is not something that I wanted to do.
It's getting silly over here. If the top
But I
handle
get it.
goes, can I request a top handle version in the future? You can, anytime you want. That's a good question.
That is a good question. And then I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about, and I lost it.
Got to put a big leather order in next.
We do.
I'm like getting it together.
Yeah, he's cutting out what he can with what we've got, and then it's leather order time.
Ba, ba, ba. And we have, we're expecting some other leathers for next year, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I am just so excited about that. I kind of was thinking like maybe the, what is it, the bag club that you started?
Oh yeah, H&H
Maybe
Bag
that
Club.
would be a
That's
place.
what I called it.
Yeah.
That's what our broadcast is called.
Yeah.
I think it like
How do you find it
defaults to updates.
If you want to like join it, can you? How do you
It's
find
on
it?
our profile, and it's like underneath
Okay.
our bio.
And basically, what it's going to do is send you a DM, right? Send.
I think it sends DMs like directly to people instead of like.
It's like
because-
sending a story directly to you.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Because of how unchronological Instagram has gotten,
Right.
I think people are missing the things they want to see from people they want to see stuff from.
So I have a question. Did you send out one
We
of
just
those?
did the one video, like a hello video.
Yeah, yeah. That's all we've done.
That's all
with
we've done so far.
it. Okay, okay.
Because I kind of want to think about what makes sense to send through there.
Sure. Okay.
Bag Club? Question mark. I've been working out trying to shrink my top handle.
Is that Daniel?
No, that sounds like something Daniel would say though.
It does.
Speaking of leathers, I have one of your bags with a really deep brown. I've been wearing it this fall. The color is gorgeous. Too bad it's discontinued. The really deep brown.
Oh, the
it's
dark
like
brown.
like call it like a chocolate, right?
Yeah.
That was a one. I remember that. That was a one-off. Is that a Phoebe?
Yeah.
I think it was a Phoebe, and we made a Greta and a Phoebe. I think were the only two.
Yep.
So that was when we used that leather, I think, as part of like our wax canvas back in the day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I believe that
It
was
was a
probably
very-
2020 because that was like the end of having that leather.
Yeah, that was a really pretty color. The
It
only
is.
reason we decided not to continue doing that is it really didn't photograph
Yeah,
well.
it photos as
Black.
black, or it's such a shame. But yeah, it is. I like that color a lot. I like the sound of Bag Club by the fireplace in a rocking chair with cigars. You calling me chubby? Never, Daniel.
No.
Yeah, it's the Phoebe. Yeah, I thought so. That is a nice color. If you're so inclined
Yeah.
to
we
take a
can-
photo of it as it is now, as it's been worn for a little bit, we would love to see that.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, a lot of companies do have like a dark brown. It's tough because we don't want to, like, we're limited by our hands and how many colors we can really,
How many humans
Bring
we
on.
are.
how many humans we are.
We have multiplied, but he's not ready to
Yeah,
make
Wes
bags.
isn't ready to make bags yet.
Although Nick made him a tiny little belt, and he's very proud of it.
He's very happy about that. I have a Greta and I love it in that color. Sally.
Yes, she does. You made it for her.
For sure, I'll get some pretty fall photos. Thank you. That would be awesome. I'd love to see it. Hello from Ecuador. Hello. Yeah, we're thinking, or I've been thinking that natural might become a seasonal, like springtime color. That'll help us like with some production and stuff like that. I really feel like if 5 is like our max, I feel like color-wise.
Colors. Yeah.
And that
Oh.
makes it tough because we want to keep things interesting enough and different enough.
Yeah, I think we're gonna end up doing like seasonal like releases of colors, and then we kind of drop them for a little while,
Yeah.
and then
Well, we're going to try a limited run of a color
Yes.
next year for spring.
Yeah.
For the first time. Like, it'll go away when it's done.
Yep.
Because it's a color we're excited about, but we also don't feel like it fits our full, like the line for like a
Fully.
year-round
Yeah, yeah.
situation. I just made a belt for my son too. He wanted it green.
Oh,
Yeah.
funny.
Wes got a Latigo natural. When he gets like to a more, I don't know, he's gonna grow for a while, I guess. I
Yeah,
guess
but
I could
he's a
just keep
very
making him
slow
belts. When he gets to
grower.
like, he's a 3/4 inch belt right now because he's a tiny person. When he gets to like 1 inch, like that'll be, you could probably wear that one for a while.
Yeah. I think you made him a 1 inch a long time ago, and it was like ridiculous. Like he couldn't.
Well, no, the 3/4 like barely fit his belt loops.
I know.
So it's also more for show.
Yeah, he's very excited about it though.
He is very excited about it. I'm reading, where is it? A book.
Oh yeah. Maybe that's what I wanted to talk about.
So I finally got to this book, which is called Deluxe: How Luxury Lost Its Luster. Say that 5 times fast.
He's
By
been giving me like the breakdown.
Dana Thomas.
It's very good.
It's very good. I'm not even that far into it.
Guys, we also listened to podcasts together.
We did.
Nick
I
hates
hated it.
podcasts. You didn't.
I like the content of it. I don't like absorbing information
I
through
know.
people's words.
Whatever. I'm gonna plug the podcast again. I've
You should-
definitely
yeah, you should.
said it a million times, but Articles of Interest, I just highly recommend. This one was about color. So it's basically like a fashion podcast, but it's like very rooted in like why things are the way they are and like the history behind things and how things are changing within the fashion world. And she just covers a very specific topic on each episode. She's really, really smart and just interviews like such awesome people. But yeah, Articles of Interest, this episode is about color, and they talked about, one thing I thought was so cool that I had no idea is that like when we think about cotton, we think cotton is white, except that cotton can actually be grown in other colors. It can be green, it can be sienna, which is like a red brown. It can be just straight brown. So you can literally grow it as a whole color that could be spun.
Yeah, it's a variant on the cotton.
Yeah, just very cool. And she goes into all the history of like why our cotton is all basically white, even though it doesn't need to be. What else did she talk
And
about?
well, so the reason behind that being, if we can grow cotton that is different colors,
Right.
We don't have to dye it.
Dye
then.
it,
So you're cutting out a step, which is extremely expensive to do, and is extremely
Toxic.
dependent on water.
Yes.
and
uses
a
ton
lot of
of
water. So that would be like help conserve, fresh water on the planet. There's a lot of really great things
But I
that could do.
highly recommend that podcast. That episode is great, but all the episodes are really great. Yeah, if you haven't, she doesn't know who I am. I am not. This is not sponsored in any way.
I'm listening through Articles of Interest and almost caught up. Cool.
Oh, awesome. Who said that?
Daniel.
Nice. It's so good.
Well, it's funny because fashion can be either extremely utilitarian, or it's often like a response to what's happening in society.
Yep.
Like any art would be. So it's cool.
Or what materials are like available,
available.
during that time period?
What does the material say? Like, is it? What is that?
I don't know.
Oh, it's these.
Oh. Button covers. Or magnet covers, I mean.
Whether it's like status or economy or whatever it is, there's a lot of cool things. Anyway, so this book, I'm only the first 50 something pages in, 80 pages, is about all the fashion houses and how they began and like kind of how they evolved, and I'm up to like 1990 right now. And it's very, very interesting. And it just talks about like the luxury market and what drives it. And it's a lot more dramatic than I kind of expected. Which I guess I should have expected it to be dramatic, but it's good. And it's how it's changed from being hyper custom, like clothes used to fit the individual. You would go to somebody that would like, you would go to a fashion show, then after the fashion show, you would go to a fitting room if you wanted to buy those clothes, and then they would fit you, and then that's how it was like so custom. What did you say the book is called? Deluxe: How Luxury Lost Its Luster. And then the podcast is Articles of Interest. The book is by Dana Thomas. This is probably backwards, so I don't know if that helps you.
Can I see the cover?
It's McDonald's and Prada. They call
Oh,
so.
interesting.
Well, like the industrialization of luxury
Yeah.
was like a whole process, and it talks about how they integrated all of like their production, their marketing, and everything in house, so they could have control over all of it. Because luxury for a time period was all about licensing your name to a product. So somebody would make sunglasses, you'd say they'd put Prada on them because you licensed the name. So they were having all sorts of issues with like quality, and it wasn't really distilling, and it wasn't a concise version of their brand. So they basically reined it all in, and then gained control over that. Hi, I love all your lives. Does your Domestika course, sorry to misspell, talk about how to curve the leather without water or tips?
Yes.
Like for a bag, looking forward to it, thanks. Yeah, so we go over how to fold a gusset without water. We use a bone folder. It's definitely in there. That's like one of the coolest parts.
Yeah, that was like one of the main things I wanted to make sure was covered in that course, actually. Because I remember feeling like, oh, when I figured it out.
But Louis Vuitton kind of almost happenstance became like an apprentice to a trunk maker, and it's so interesting how like things evolved. That's it. But yeah, you gotta keep informed. Bone folder is the coolest tool name by far. What sewing
Folder.
machine did you use before the Cobra 26? We had a Singer Patcher machine, which I think
Like a
is a
vintage-
29 4K, if I remember the correct name for it. I don't recommend buying that.
No, it's very
The
cool.
Singer.
But
Super cool.
there's
Tiny bobbin.
new versions of it.
92 was the thickest thread you could use on it. It didn't really, it helped us learn some stuff, and it was also a treadle foot, so.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But that's how we kind of learned, and then we got the Cobra 26 pretty early on,
Yeah, I was going to say.
because we knew we needed something that could be super consistent, could grow with us into bags. The patcher machine was super cool because of how small the cylinder arm is. Excuse me, it was tiny. It was like,
Oh, yeah. Which was awesome because you could really get in there. And the needle rotated 360 degrees. So, like, you basically had both a cylinder arm and a post bed because you could literally sew, like, into the arm, which
you should
was
start
so
making
cool.
trunks.
Oh, jeez.
That's a whole
It's a whole
different thing.
yeah.
Naming my next death metal band, Bone Folder.
What size thread do you use? I can't read from here.
Is it the same as for hand sewing? Yeah, 135.
Yep.
And what we did in the beginning is we got like 5 or 6 sizes of thread,
Of thread, yeah.
just to see.
What
I think
we
this machine
liked.
goes up to 277.
It just
It might go up one more,
a bit bulky.
which is just really thick. You
Yeah.
would really only need that for aesthetic or for like a holster or like Western style.
Size cover 26. Oh, it moved.
Goes up too fast.
I know.
Besides the Cobra 26, what other machines do you consider? The other machine we got really fast was the burnisher and sander.
Or does he mean what other sewing machines did you consider?
Oh, if that's your question, we looked at the time. We definitely looked at the Cowboy. We definitely looked at, I believe, Texo.
Yeah.
I looked at Juki's just to look at them because we couldn't afford it. We still can't, but.
Oop, 10. Got it.
And obviously the Cobra. I feel like there was at least another one in there.
I don't remember.
This was a while ago.
Yeah.
But we're really happy with how the Cobra works out for us.
Yeah, and then other machine-wise, our second purchase was the burnisher, sander burnisher.
Which can be messy if you're sanding leather.
Yeah,
Everyone who
eventually.
sands leather knows.
Yeah, eventually we got we used an arbor press for a little while. We then got what was that other thing? The pump.
Oh, like a shop. It was
was
a
a
bottle
shop.
jack press
Bottle
that
jack,
had
that's it.
a metal plate welded to it.
Yeah.
Could you talk about tips on growing your community through in-person events? Did you go to the same market for a while or social media mainly? So we started out doing markets and shows.
And recommend that.
Yeah, and it's always good to see feedback in person, in real life, real time. And having your eyes open to that is important.
Yeah.
That's not to say everything everybody says to you there is going to be helpful for you. Like, we really appreciated getting to see people, getting to meet people. Some people came up to our booth, and that's how we got into Philly Mag. That's how we got into the Philadelphia Museum of Art. That's how, we got some of our first customers.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And just, hearing feedback, like,
Yeah,
from,
like whether it's this color sells well, or like I sold out of these, or nothing sold. Like, you're learning something no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think the most important part about a market is picking one that makes sense to what you're selling.
For sure.
So if you are trying to sell something that's like a luxury or high end or maybe more expensive, you're not going to want to go to like a flea market and be a vendor there, unless it's something that's
For some reason it makes sense.
unless it makes sense for some reason. The more populated areas you can go to, probably the better. If you have like a major city that does like a market, that might be helpful. And they're a lot of fun, but they're a lot of work. So
Yes.
if you have a
will be
partner or somebody
very
that can help
tired.
you with that, that will be great to set the tent up. It's a long day. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like 7 a.m. to like 8 or 9 p.m. usually.
It's a long day.
It's definitely a long day. And can your car fit everything in there?
Yeah.
Leanne's favorite part was setting up the booth so it was like a mini store. And
Yeah.
she got to do that all the time in our living room.
I did. It was really fun. Yeah, if we could make
Leanne
enough.
starts drum circle in the background.
That would be funny. If we could make enough back inventory to do a show,
Yeah, Leanne would
I
still
would.
like to do at least 1 or 2 a year.
exactly.
We're just not at the place where we can do it.
Yeah, there's too many orders coming in for us.
It is a little bit stressful, especially like for us, we made bags, having them all out.
Yeah.
If it rained, if it was windy, like we've got bean bags to put into
Oh yeah.
some of our bags because they would just blow over.
And bag stands.
Bag stands. So, you can really make it a good time. I would probably, hopefully with the feedback you get, you could probably do that for like a year or two and then try to build your following alongside online, so that, you can do less and less shows.
Yeah, and of course, if you can have a website at the same time, that's always
Yes.
best because you can be handing out business cards, postcards, that sort of thing. So that way, maybe someone doesn't buy from you that day, but they can then go to your website and purchase from you tomorrow or whatever.
And as far as growing your community, especially online, I find like showing up consistently is huge, right? That's a big part of it. Having a consistent message, having consistent imagery, having a great product, that's all part of it. So it's a whole brand experience. And the more consistent you can make that across all your channels, the better. It's definitely not easy I feel like, to grow these days. I'm trying to think of like my best kind of advice. People love to see behind the scenes. They love to see like
How it's made.
how it's made. How can you differentiate yourself in your marketplace based on what you make?
Yeah, one of my biggest.
And the answer is not just materials.
One of my biggest things I would say is that whatever show you're considering doing, whatever market you're considering doing, go to it as a shopper.
Yes.
See what else is selling there, see how many people are going there, who the customer kind of is. Make sure there's not like, let's just pretend you make leather bags.
Right.
Let's make sure there's not like, 5 other people selling leather bags there, that sort of thing.
It also lets you see the customer that purchases from you so that you can have a more visual idea of who your target market might be.
Yeah. But go there as a shopper, before, if at all possible.
That bottle jack really gave the basement shop a mean look. Looked like Nick was working on a custom auto parts late at night. Yeah, that wasn't fun. I wish we got our clicker press a lot earlier, but it did the job. It was faster than hand cutting. Not the most fun I've ever had. Had to like crank it down. I got to a place where like I could open it and then it would come up just enough so I could slip another die under there and do it as fast as possible. Yeah, I mean, to me, social media these days is about having something to say. If you have nothing to say, it's hard to gain traction. I don't know what we're saying, but thank you for all the advice. Really appreciate it.
Sure.
I think also people's expectations of what's going to happen and what actually happens is very different. Like, we didn't wake up one day and have 100,000 people on our account. It took years and time and effort and trying all sorts of stuff. And purely gaining followers shouldn't be your end goal. Your end goal should be either like educational or like what are you offering to your audience? I got nothing.
Yeah. All right, guys, this is where I say, if you have any more questions, please go ahead and ask them now. We are threatening to leave.
Yeah, I think one more thing.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to keep evolving with your marketing and with what you're doing online. Because like what you've done in the past might have served you, but like we couldn't just continue to make reels of Leanne making bags for the rest of our lives and get the same kind of excitement around it.
The same like momentum building, yeah.
So you have to change and change with whatever social media is doing.
For sure.
And think of new ways to help your audience out.
Yeah.
It's better to have 10K rabid fans than 200,000 followers who only like the content. Exactly.
Exactly, yep. There is another question below that. Oh.
For your 5-year plan, what's the best case scenario? How big do you guys want to be? What avenue of business and fashion? That's a really good question. It's something that we think about a lot. I think we've kind of landed at wanting to have a space outside the house and employing a small team.
Yep.
And be awesome.
And doing maybe small appointments or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, the goal, in my opinion, the goal of any business should be to do exactly what you want to do in the business.
Yep.
So whether that frees Leanne up to design and make certain designs, or if it, lets me just wander around and stare at what people are doing.
He already does that.
So
but
that's what I do.
When will you have stock on your site again?
Good
That's
question.
a great question. So the way that we do our orders, the way that we take orders is the first week of every month we open up to take orders. Then we shut down for the rest of the month to make everything that was ordered and ship it out. And then we open back up again the next month. So the 1st of December, now we're kind of still touch and go, or have you made a decision?
I haven't, but
Okay.
I have a feeling we'll
feeling
probably be able
will.
to.
Yeah.
Let's
see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm currently making dividing batches up based on color and design, and once I have that solidified, I'll know approximately when we'll be done.
Yep.
I have an idea, but I'll have a much better idea once that's done.
Yeah. So the reason we work this way is because it's just the most efficient that we could possibly be. There's only 2 of us, and I make everything. Nick cuts everything out for me and preps it, and I put everything together. So it's best if we have all of our orders at once. We can then cut everything out all at once, order leather based on those orders, and then I can batch make. So basically, I'm getting if there's 7 Chloe bags I need to make in tan, I can make them all at once. So it's much faster than like hopping back and forth.
Yeah, before we would get orders rolling in and,
Yeah.
you know, say we made a batch of mini Boweries,
Yeah.
then there would be in tan, and then all of a sudden there'd be one
And those
more.
ship out, yeah. Now I have to like just do one random one. It just makes it much more efficient. So that's why we do it that way. It just makes things easier for us, and you guys should hopefully get your things a little bit faster. But yeah, so December typically is a little tricky for us because we've already gotten in our holiday orders. So any orders that are going to get to people by the holidays have already been placed, and we're closed as far as that goes. We might still open up for December, but it will be probably a smaller order run, and those things would not get to you until January.
Yeah, we would be, to be very clear, we would begin working on the batches
Right, we would
in December, starting January 1.
Yeah. Start making them in January, and that's just because we want to make sure that all of the holiday stuff gets to everyone on time. So.
Nick, do you have, where do you see yourself in 30 minutes?
Working in the basement.
11:45-ish. Yeah. Do you have any twin brothers who want to come and do my social media and advertising? I don't have any twins. Is a hot dog a taco? That is a legitimate question.
What?
Does it have a corn tortilla?
It's not a taco, it's a hot dog.
What's been your biggest business disagreement as husband-wife business? Hot one coming in. What do you think?
Biggest disagreement?
Yeah. I usually, we don't have too many, but it's because of how we kind of work it.
Yeah.
I come up with stupid, crazy ideas, and then Leanne's scared of them, and then we do them eventually when she comes around to them.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I think we argue a little bit on design sometimes.
Yeah, but ultimately, that's your decision in my head.
Yeah.
I don't know if we really disagreed on like anything really major.
No. Yeah, I don't know. We haven't really.
We usually talk things out pretty. I mean, we see each other every day.
We do. The biggest disagreement we have is when I'm trying to work and he's bugging me.
Yeah, that's probably it.
And I'm like, stop staring at me. Or whatever weird thing you're doing.
Yeah, so sometimes if I'm reading like a good book, I'll come over here and bug her with information.
He wants to tell me about it.
I want to discuss things, and you're like,
understand.
I'm busy doing stuff. So
Yeah.
gotta check yourself there.
Before you wreck yourself.
But yeah, we generally agree on a lot of things.
Yes.
If we don't, we talk about it. Let's see. If you were reincarnated as one of your bags, which one would it be?
No idea.
Do you do collaborations with third parties? Oops.
Whoops.
Just hit a button.
What'd you do? Okay, here we go. We have in the past. We are very particular about who we will work with, just because we want it to be very aligned with what we're doing and our aesthetic and all that good stuff.
Always listen to you while I'm at my full-time job during the evening. You two give me inspiration to continue this hobby. Keep it up. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's why we originally started doing this.
It is, and I feel like it's one of the main things that keeps us going. I mean, we love what we're doing, so let's be real.
You guys are rad, solid couple.
But
if you don't talk to each other, you're in trouble.
We do love to be able to inspire others, so.
Nick, do you want to discuss any nerdy things? I'm always here. That's good to know.
All the nerds.
All the nerds.
Yeah, no, Nick likes to talk to me a lot. And I like to talk to him.
Which is funny to anyone who probably knows me in person.
Exactly, because he typically does not talk in like social situations. But
did you set an alarm?
I did for my glue.
Oh.
I don't have a phone, so there's a bunch of things that I can't.
It's like I didn't do that.
So he likes to talk, and when I work, I like to like plug in and like concentrate on what I'm doing. Because if I start talking, I sometimes will like forget what I'm doing and like miss a step. So that's when I'm like,
yeah,
stop.
like when she was doing these mini Chloes.
Yeah.
It was a
like,
problem.
it's one
'Cause it's
thing if
new,
I'm
it's-
doing
yeah.
like a Greta or something. Those, and I don't mean that that's an easy bag. I just mean that I've literally, that's one of the first designs we ever made. So I've
Yeah.
made that bag a billion times. I could basically do it in my sleep. So if you want to talk to me while I'm doing that bag, that's fine. But like this was the first batch of mini Chloe's I had ever done. I literally had made 2 before. So you got to remember the steps and the order in which things happen, and I just didn't want to mess it up. So I gave him a lot of evil eyes.
I,
I sounded like a
That's
fire
weird.
alarm.
I also tend to, like, when I'm thinking about stuff, I'll think a lot. And then, like, my ideas, I have a lot of ideas. So when I'm trying to filter them with some help, it's probably overwhelming for some of us.
It's only over. It's the problem is it's
It's not good
overwhelming-
timing.
Yeah,
I get
it's
it.
overwhelming when I'm working on stuff. I would be super excited to talk to you about that stuff on a regular thing, but then the only other time we have is when Wes is here, and that kid can talk.
Well, and he's not talking about the right stuff.
If you're talking, he's gonna talk over you.
Look forward to seeing you guys each week. Awesome. You guys make such quality bags. Thank you for sharing. Hope you have a great day.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome work. Thanks for sharing. Oh, I missed all these. Half the fun is watching you is the husband-wife dynamic. Well, that's
Oh,
good.
boy. I hope that's a
Sorry.
good thing.
That's fine. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, when you know somebody for, I don't know, how long is it?
Oh.
A million years?
Billions of years. And we've known each other since, when did you start college? 2000 what?
5?
I
Right.
don't know. Sounds right.
When did you graduate?
2006?
So 2005. It does. Old lady.
Sure it wasn't 2004?
I'm pretty sure that I didn't graduate in 2004.
Yeah,
Right.
but you start the year before.
If you graduated in 2006,
And you graduated 2009.
right, we would have met in 2005 at the beginning of the school year.
No, 2004 at the beginning of the school year. Because you started, that means you started in an even number and graduated in an odd number. So, like,
if you started college in 2005,
no,
ended college in 2005.
6.
You ended it in 2006, right?
Correct.
So the
So
year
I
before that,
started
you
in
would have started.
2005.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No. I started my senior year in 2005.
Yes. And you graduated in 2006, so we would have met in 2005. How would we have met in 2004?
But you graduated 2009, so that means it would have been 2008 would be the start of your senior year.
Right?
Math.
There we go.
Let me think about that.
A lot of leather videos are dudes alone in shops and basements.
Accurate.
Self-dialogue, not as interesting. That makes sense. I never really thought about it that way.
Is this entertaining for you guys?
2005.
I was thinking about.
6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So if I started in 2005, the next year would have been, like, 2006 is the end of that school year. 2007 is the end of that school year. 2008 is the end of that school year. 2009 is the end of that school year. So 4 years.
Yeah, but if you graduated in 2005, we met in 2004.
No, I graduated.
You graduated your freshman year. 2005, let's say.
I graduated high school
What year?
technically in 2005, even though 2004 is when I stopped going to high school because I graduated early.
Yeah, but wouldn't you have started college that September in 2004?
No. 2004 December is when I stopped going to high school. Then I would have gone to college 2005
Okay.
in August.
Doesn't make sense to me, but sure.
It's my life. I'm sticking to
That
it.
makes no sense because you graduated in 2009. Did you like miss a year?
I don't know. I'm going to draw a graph in a minute.
Can we
All right,
have a
we're
piece of
done.
paper?
I'm probably wrong, but it's fine.
You are.
We'll see you guys next. No, we won't. Who got better grades in college? Ah, jeez. Probably you. I might have skipped a bunch of classes I hated.
He also, let's be fair, you also worked a full-time job.
True.
while you were in college, and I did not.
Yeah.
So I had all of my focus on school.
I had fun in college.
Yeah, I mean, both were great.
But yeah, she definitely got better grades. I probably got better grades in high school.
Yeah, that's accurate.
But like you put in a lot more work in the college than I ever
I
did.
did.
I learned plenty. I knew going into college I wasn't going to be an artist for like a living. I just knew that, but I wanted to learn certain skills, and that's what I was there for. But I think Leanne went to college with the idea of doing art as a living.
Yes.
You know, you got jobs at a gallery afterwards. You were doing design work for a different college. I never went that route. I got lucky. I found a part-time job at a grocery store, and basically became an assistant store manager eventually, because I had a lot of fun learning how to run a business. I like learning stuff. Well, I'm right, right? I know I'm right.
You're right.
I'm correct.
You meant 2005.
I'm not, whatever.
You're correct.
Why does it make any difference?
It doesn't. I just really
Because you wouldn't. I just really thought I met you earlier.
Well, in my mind, it was like, well, you go to school for 4 years.
Right.
So if you started on an odd, you should graduate on an odd, but it's actually the opposite.
Right.
Here we are. I was wrong.
There it is.
Math, not my strong suit. Geometry, my strong suit.
I can't do geometry. I can do math.
There you go. That's why we're a great team.
All right. We'll see you.
One of us is
we'll
right.
probably not do another live until January. We're going to brainstorm what the future of our lives really look like, if they're worth it for you guys.
Not our lives, like doing lives.
Live streams.
Live
That
streams.
sounds a lot more serious.
I was like, damn, are we ending things? What's happening with our lives?
I was a representational painter in the Lower East Side after art school, and I like the attention of leathercrafting and the accessibility to people. Yes. It's so easy to begin, especially for like small goods, and I think that makes it like a draw for people because you make something relatively fast, and then you can pretty easily learn like what sets them apart from like a novice.
Your lives are worth it.
Your lives are worth it. Thanks, Grant.
Oh God, that sounded terrible.
Like both lives and lives.
Both. Yeah, no. So
we get
what
it.
Nick is saying, this is probably our last live stream
That's
of
it.
2023.
That's it.
Forgot what year it was for a second.
I'm calling it.
And we will start up again in January. We just have a lot of holiday orders to get through. Not a ton to talk about because we're just going to be like making. But if by chance something fun happens, we could always jump on a live, so you never know when we might be here. But we'll definitely be back in January.
I would think maybe we'll do one in like December, but like
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I don't want to say we are and not do it.
Sure.
So, have you ever done makers markets?
Yes,
And
we did a lot.
What did you think of them?
We did a lot of makers markets. I think it's the best way to start.
Yeah, for sure.
We learned a ton by doing them. We learned a ton by interacting with a customer face to face. I think it is the reason we are as successful as we are now because we learned a lot from that and applied it going forward.
It was a great launching point.
Yes, I think the number, like we talked about this a little bit earlier on in the live, so I'm going to kind of rattle off some quick things. But basically, you want to find markets that make sense for what you're selling. Go there as a shopper first and kind of see what all the booths are like. Make sure that they're up to par with what you're doing. But like if, let's just pretend you were selling leather bags, that there weren't like 5 other people selling leather bags there. You don't need to be the only person doing it, but your stuff should be different enough that it would stand out. Definitely.
I think a good example of that is
Yeah.
there's almost always someone at a show doing leather wallets
Yes.
or like card holders
Yeah.
or belts. Not that you can't stand out in those categories, it might be more difficult.
Yeah, so like for us, we sold our bags extremely well and all our smaller leather goods not as well,
Yeah.
which was great because that's what I wanted to do anyway.
Like we had,
but we kind of felt like we had to have them because everyone had them, but it's actually better just to stand out with your product.
Yeah, we had start with dog leashes, collars, like every standard, typical, stereotypical thing.
Leather item you could have. Yeah.
You tried it.
I would say any makers markets you can do that are in a big city is best. It's not going to make sense to, like, let's say do a farmer's market, or I mean maybe it does. I don't know what your farmer's markets are like, but I wouldn't show our stuff at a farmer's market because people are really going there to buy food for the most part, and they probably don't have like $300, $500 to drop on a bag.
Yeah, like if a market is in a community you think that would serve that community, go to that market. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then the last point I would say, well, 2 more points. One, I would set your booth up as if you imagined yourself having a store that was 10 by 10, as most booths are about that size. Set it up as best you can to how you would want that store to look, because how you present your stuff is incredibly important.
Well, think about merchandising wallets. Like, it's so easy just to put them on a table like this, but if you just prop them up,
yeah.
like,
Or like you have them next to some, bring in other items that aren't for sale, but just make the booth feel like a welcoming shop that someone's coming into. And then lastly, I would say treat your markets as both a learning experience for you and a point to not sell your things, but educate your potential customers. So we are not salesy people. We're not good at that. I don't want to be good at that, to be honest with you.
People don't want to be, they don't want
Sold
to feel like
to.
they're being sold to. So
Yeah.
like if you're like, buy my thing, they're like, nah.
So basically what I would do when people came in is I would kind of give them a very short elevator pitch if they seemed interested.
And it was something we worked on over time.
Yeah, it wasn't
It
perfect
changed.
the first time.
We told Leanne to calm down a little bit a couple times. She was like, well,
It was fine.
scaring the people.
Okay. But I would just kind of like give them a quick elevator pitch of like, hey, we hand make all these bags. All the leather is tanned in Pennsylvania, since that's our home state and that's probably where we were selling things. And it's all vegetable tan. And if they asked more, we would go from there. But I think it was really a point. Most people don't know what like veg tan leather is, so I'd be able to start talking about that or whatever it might be. It just like kind of give them enough information that they're like, oh wow, okay, and then maybe leave them with like wanting to ask you more questions.
And most people aren't your customer. So I think going into it knowing that's helpful.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there was anything else.
Was your price point different for markets than it is now? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this was how many years ago? It was 2017, so.
They were definitely different.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say they like.
Some designs have never seen a market, like we've.
Oh yeah, I mean most haven't.
At this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Phoebe.
And the Greta.
Is that it? Because the Mini Bowery launched 2020.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's it. The Phoebe and the Greta are the only 2 bags
That's what's left.
that would have been out of market because we've made new designs and canceled other designs, and so.
Do you have pictures to share of your booth?
I wonder if you go back in our feed far enough, you might find them.
Unless it's a special event.
I don't know if that's right.
Yeah, we might have some way back.
Yeah, if you scroll back, you might find some.
2019.
I think you will.
I've been trying to get together. This hasn't worked out. I want to get together, like, not an anthology, but like
Oh yeah.
the long version of our story,
Of our story.
with images, and us like kind of talking about it, and get that up on YouTube. It just hasn't
Come to
worked
fruition.
out because we're busy people.
It's true.
All right, now we're leaving.
Yes. So in conclusion,
In conclusion,
we will see you guys in January. We're gonna kind of hold off from doing lives just because we have a lot of holiday orders to get through, and we really just need to work our butts off. Holiday orders are over. We will probably open up orders again in December for the first week of December, but we will be taking a much smaller amount of orders. And those items,
probably like 10.
we'll not even start making those until January. So I think that's all of the big things. Yes. All right, guys.
How'd the garden harvest turn out? Not that great.
Very small.
I need to amend my soil.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. we will see you next year.
Yep.
You
Well,
know-
we'll see you.
you know
We'll
where
be
to-
around.
You know where to reach us.
Posting
I guess.
stories and whatever else.
Why
I
am I
guess.
trying to turn it off from
I
here?
don't know
It's
what
not
you're
gonna
doing.
work. Bye.